sometimes for me. Lance Leipold, well-earned, deserved. There have been people that have taken runs at him. Other programs would love to have him. He has a new contract with KU, not a surprise. He has earned it. KU is not just a one-time fluke. They are building for something better, and his salary now more than $7 million per year, among the top 3 average salaries in the conference, the Big 12 Conference. And so great job for KU to get that done. Not a surprise they did. Not a surprise he's staying. Just happy that that's now official.
Yeah, and look, I think that Lance Leipold is in a spot where, look, there's been lots of other jobs. Like in the last 2 years, there have been tons of other jobs he could have vaulted to, probably with no problem. Honestly, had his agent floated out there that he was really, really interested, then he probably would not be at Kansas anymore. But it does feel to me like he has landed in a spot where he can make it his program because historically, it's kind of like Bill Snyder at Kansas State. What is, like, other than Mark Mangino, what does he have to live up to? Mm-hmm. And even that was only a little blip on the radar for Kansas football.
Didn't end well.
Yeah, before Mark Mangino, what are you talking about? The John Riggins and Gale Sayers, and like even back further into their history where it doesn't resonate with current athletes. So now you've got Kansas, a school that cares about basketball twice as much as it cares about football, even if football is good, no matter what. And they're redoing the stadium for you. They're doing all this great stuff for you. Like, why are you going to leave that right now? You're in a conference that, now that you seem to have kind of gotten your roster, pointed in the direction you want it, you can compete for and maybe win regularly. That's completely new now. I don't think there'd be many reasons for me to leave Kansas if I were Lance Leipold.
Yeah, I think there could always be something coming down the pipeline, whether it be conference affiliation or something along those lines, that if it turned into a different world, then maybe you find yourself in a situation where other programs could be more desirable because it's an uneven playing field. But I think Kansas is fortunate that they could be in that lump of schools. If you're looking at the Big 12 and say, okay, let's say that there's 24 team leagues in the future, right? And I don't know that that's going to be the case, but let's just say that they are, because nobody really knows. I mean, even the most confident reports are like, but I'm just saying this, like, not, there's nothing 100% sure. So let's say that were to happen, though. Let's say that the Big Ten and the SEC were to decide, like, we're going to 24 each, baby. We're turning this into like the mega NFL light. Then Kansas is probably one of those schools getting a phone call. Mm-hmm. So, if that were to not be the case, then, something like that were to happen and they were on the outside looking in, then maybe, just maybe, you'd find your reason as to go. But my point is barring that, yeah, there's not much reason for him to go at this point. He's making great money. They're making great investments, and they're sitting in a really nice spot where they are a coveted brand. And the more the football program grows, that's only for the betterment of Kansas athletics as a whole. And certainly having that stability is another feather in their cap. So based on what I was reading earlier, this now makes him the second highest paid coach in the Big 12. And that's because what I looked up was that Mike Gundy is the highest paid Big 12 coach, but all the reports are saying third highest, but the third highest would have been Brent Venables. Mm-hmm. Well, he's not going to be in the league anymore. Yeah, so I think
Sarkisian would have been above all that,
and
he's
gone
too.
So
yeah.
I think this actually makes Lance Leipold the second highest paid coach in the league behind Mike Gundy. So somebody correct me if I'm wrong there, but that's another cool little note about that. So yeah, congratulations to Lance Leipold. Well deserved. They've got big expectations heading into next year with return of Jalen Daniels to national prominence, hopefully in the cards for them, so they can really maximize the opportunity there. But yeah, no-brainer move for KU. Pretty easy move, I would think, for Lance Leipold. Didn't have to think this over too much, and they're playing with a lot of momentum right now, so let's see what they can do with it.
Substantial uptick in salary for both on-field and off-field coaching staff, the support staff. Also the $450 million what they're doing with the football stadium and also operations building. You go to look at the history of Kansas football coaches, and you realize what Lance Leipold, 17-21, but the last couple of years they've been a bowl team, how barren it has been. Mangino, who was there for about 8 years, was 2 games above 500, as good as they were at certain times, and eventually he resigned under the investigation of coaching practices. Also,